Your Excellency, the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Shahid Hagan Abbasi, Your Excellency, the Federal Minister, Minister Hassan Iqbal, the Minister of the Planning and Development, Your Excellency, Honorable Governor, Mr. Mohammed Zubair of Sindh, Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Murad Ali Shah, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much honored and pleased to be present in today's Cpec summit held in Karachi, organized by the famous Dang Group. I think on behalf of the Chinese government, I would like to appreciate the Pakistani government, the Sindh government, as well as the other provincial governments and all the scopes of the society of Pakistan for sharing this kind of enthusiasm, sharing this kind of participation of the Sino-Pak cooperation and friendship. Today, as the ambassador to Pakistan, I would like to elaborate some views from the Chinese side, how China looks at the relationship with Pakistan, how China looks at that cooperation with Pakistan. As is well aware that this year, 2018, is the 40th anniversary of China's policy of opening up and reform. And in China, that all the leaders, the government officials, intellectuals, business people, as well as the common people, we are also looking at the past experience of the 40 years development since the opening up and the reform. I think that we have concluded several of the experiences. I think basically, first, for the development of China, that since 40 years ago, the Chinese government and the Chinese people made a very important decision, is that we will concentrate all the resources on the economic development. We will concentrate all the resources on the betterment and the well-being of the people, of the nation. So for the past 40 years, the successive Chinese leaderships and the Chinese government have made every effort to promote, to develop our economy, our social well-being. So for the past 40 years, the annual growth of the GDP is about 9.5%. And we have elevated, or that we have made more than 700 million people coming out of poverty. This is a big achievement, not only for China, but also to the world. And the second conclusion we have shared about the experience of the past 40 years opening up is that we have to develop our own nation according to our own conditions. We have to find a route, find a roadmap which is based on the national conditions. China is vast. China is very much diversified, and China had the largest population of the world. So for the past 40 years, the Chinese government and the Chinese people, we are very firmly insisting in carry forward our basic social system, that is the socialism. But on the meanwhile, the Chinese side also, we adopt the economic model, that is we call the market economy. So by combining the socialism and the market economy, we come to today with a second largest size of the global economy. And thirdly, the conclusion we have made after 40 years' efforts is that we have to carry forward the spirit of reform, of innovation. By reform and innovation, that our government and our people can always find the momentum, find the dynamics for a better development and a better model of the governance. And the last, but not the least conclusion we have made is that we have to stick to the openness, inclusiveness, and also win-win cooperation with the other partners. So the Chinese development has reached into a new stage, a new era of the win-win cooperation and the joint development with all the major neighbors and international partners. So then come to the Pakistan, come to the Cpec. I think about 2 weeks ago, the Honorable Prime Minister had a very important meeting in Boao Forum for Asia with our President, Mr. Xi Jinping. And our President made a summary or summarization of our bilateral relationship with Pakistan. That is basically our orientation of our policy towards Pakistan. The President Xi said, China wants to see that relationship with Pakistan as an example of our good neighborly relations. China wants to see that our relationship with Pakistan as a pillar for the regional peace and stability. China wants to see our relationship with Pakistan as a new benchmark of the Belt and Road Initiative. So this is, I think, the major consensus reached by the two leaderships, by the two governments, and for all the walks of society in China, that all the government departments of China, we are following this kind of consensus reached by the highest level, and we are working hard to promote and enhance this cooperation. Cpec, the Chinese-Pakistan Economic Corridor, I think is very significant under this kind of historical background, under this kind of global situations. From the Chinese side, we look at Cpec as a very significant project, not only with Pakistan, but also is very significant for the whole world. Why? First, I think that under the Cpec framework, it is a new demonstration of our relationship and the partnership with Pakistan. First of all, I think this Cpec demonstrates our devotions and also resolves that to further promote our common development and also win-win cooperation. Since 2013, when the Chinese government started this Belt and Road Initiative, we are looking at all of our neighbors. We are looking at all of our potential partners. Pakistan is was and is and will be the priority of our cooperation. We have the strongest political foundations of our political relationship. We have a long history of cooperation and people-to-people understandings for us to build a new model of partnership. So Cpec came to the relationship between our two countries after almost 5 years practice and implementation from both sides. I'm very proud that the Cpec has come into a shape that we can deliver to the development and the well-being of the whole Pakistani nation. Under the Cpec framework, we have totally, I think, 43 projects in the pipeline. And right now, we have already 22 projects which have been completed or are ongoing projects. These 43 projects, I think, have covered major areas of the major infrastructure of a national economy. We have the development of the Gwadar port in Balochistan. We have the vast projects in the road and motorways and highways and rail links. We also have the projects in the energy sector, but more importantly, right now we are working hard on the project under the SEZ, Special Economic Zones. This SEZ's cooperation will involve mainly the private sectors from both sides. So the result and also the benefit of the Cpec start to come into being and start to deliver. And the second, Cpec demonstrated a kind of devotion and resolve for both the two countries, both the two nations of China and Pakistan, to work together for common prosperity of the whole region. Our devotion towards regional connectivity to have a better tomorrow for the whole region. I think Cpec, basically right now, under consultation with the two governments, but the final purpose is that it could be a stimuli, it could be a project which will open the gate, open the door for the regional cooperation, for the regional development. This is the responsibility for both Pakistan and China, that we will lead, we will guide, we will help, and we will assist in the regional development and prosperity. And the final significance from our point of view is that this kind of cooperation will increase and will inject more momentum and also dynamics for our new conception of the state-to-state relations, for our new conception of building a community of shared destiny. By collaboration under Cpec, it is not only in the economic field, it involves the people, it involves the society, it involves the common people's future and the destiny. By cooperation under the Cpec, we want to see that the vast or the maximum participation of the whole society, not only from Pakistan, but also from China. And in the future, maybe that by the participation of the regional nations and the regional people. When we put our destiny on a better life, when we put our destiny on a better future, we believe we are moving in the correct direction. We believe with the efforts from both the Pakistani and the Chinese sides, we can contribute a new paradigm, a new conception of the regional cooperation and the regional development. So today, that when I come to this grand occasion of the Cpec summit in Karachi, I think that this is a very good opportunity for China that to learn from your professional views, to learn from your reviews of the Cpec progress. Cpec is a new project. Definitely, it has a lot of areas to be improved. We can benefit from your wisdom, from your input, from your comments. But the purpose is that for us, for the Chinese side, for the Pakistani side, we can work a better project for the betterment of the whole nation and also for the whole region. So I'm looking forward to all the reviews and also comments, proposals from all the experts and the government officials and also business leaders. I think that the Chinese government and the Chinese people, we have every determination to make Cpec deliver. We have every determination to make this project benefit to the nations of two countries and at large that benefit to the whole regional countries. Thank you.